All right, we're live.
Let's get it.
Let's get it. Couldn't find my
Dude.
fucking shades today.
I don't think it's that chair anymore.
For real.
I couldn't find the fake Oakleys.
You did look different. It's like something was different. And I couldn't put my finger on it. And now that you mentioned it's the fucking glasses.
I couldn't find them. I mean, dude, I was knocking out before coming here. Ooh,
Oh, that's not good.
That was bad. I was like, fuck.
Oh,
That's
wow.
never good.
So I got up, and then I was like, all right. And then I was like, damn. I was already walking out. I was like, damn. And then I just did one of these. I was like, fuck it.
Can
when,
you guys
when
hear
is-
yourselves, by the way?
Yeah, you can.
I cannot.
Oh, the little monitor.
Yeah.
Your headphones.
Hello? Hello?
You got it.
Yeah. It was on. It was all the way down.
Hey, when is the game where the Cubs are giving away Cowboys hats? Cowboy hats.
What the fuck?
It's coming. I don't know.
It's like that sounds like a W.
Because my buddy Dan, he says we could have his tickets if we wear the hats on the
Ooh.
podcast. But he only has two, so one of us would have to buy it.
No, I don't know. No. No.
That's against the Padres.
Monday?
Oh.
Was it Monday?
Uh,
I
what the
think.
fuck?
Or
Where's
is
the
it
date?
sunglasses Monday?
Where's the date?
They're giving something for sure on Monday. I don't know if it's the hat or there's glasses. I don't know.
Am I blind?
It might be the fucking hat.
I went to Vivid Seats and it took me to the day of the game, but it didn't give me the date.
That's funny.
June 13th.
Oh, yeah, that's coming next week.
Yeah, that's a Monday game. Monday, June 13th against the Padres.
What time?
7:05 start.
Okay.
I didn't even know that they were giving away a Cubs or a Cowboy hat. That's funny. Is there a reason, like a team reason, or it's just a giveaway?
I don't know. I don't know what the reasoning might be. To be honest.
TBQH. Damn. Like my
It looks nice.
Does it?
Yeah.
Let me see that.
Only thing is, it's first 10,000.
Oh, we gotta get there early for that.
Presented by Jim
You
Beam.
know what? Not a lot of people are going to games. You'd be
Ooh, all
surprised.
right. Maybe we don't.
Frankie got there like in the middle of the first inning. He still got a bobble.
And that was like a Saturday game too, right?
Yeah.
MLB. Milb.
Let me see if I can do this.
Shawty.
Johnny's like a melody.
Braves come together to sweep the Rockies. I have some things.
Johnny's like a melody.
Should we just start?
That should be the opening song, by the way. I am.
All right, ready?
Already.
Here we go. Let me make sure I'm recording.
Oh, yes.
We're recording. All right, here we go.
That's such a good play on words.
Shawty's like a melody in my head that I can't keep out. Got me singing like na 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 every day's like my iPod stuck on replay. Shawty's like a melody in my head that I can't keep out. Got me singing like na 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 na.
You are now listening to the Fielder's Choice Podcast. Oh, that was a good intro.
I love that it just gets right into it.
Yeah, he gets.
Right away.
It's
There's
like before the music even starts.
there's like no fucking around.
No.
It's
I
just-
would love to be in a studio when a banger is being made.
Yeah. This is something me and a loyal listener, Mitchell, have talked about.
Oh,
Like, do these artists and bands, I know for the most part, I'm assuming they don't, but do they know when they're making a banger?
man.
I don't know. I've from different artists,
Yeah.
like interviews and stuff and like articles, they usually say that like the little bangers, or not the little bangers, but the songs that they come up with, are like they write them like in 10 minutes. Like it's insane.
Right.
Like there are those that like they just everything clicks, bam bam, and that ends up being the
Right.
hit. Or it'll be songs where like they didn't think anything of it, and that's the song that ends up becoming like the banger.
Damn. So maybe the answer is no.
Well, then you have the snippets of like Kanye West going in, and he's like every song is a banger to him, right?
Right.
I don't know. I feel like
don't
it's
know.
because you can't be Oh, actually, I don't know. Because I feel like if you're like, damn, this is a banger, then
And it's not a banger,
yeah,
then you're fucked.
Damn.
Yeah.
So take it a step further from a banger. Make like when you're making like a classic. Like, do you think anyone knows they're making like a classic? Like one's gonna last for decades.
You know what I think happens more? I think bands fall in love with a song that fans actually don't. It's not that they don't like them, but I feel like it's probably the lesser of the song that they like.
It's like a
Oh,
mix.
okay.
And I'll be honest, like Bayside, they love playing this one particular song called "Sick Sick Sick," and I don't like it. And they play it every time, and they love it. They love to play it.
What about the crowds? Is the crowds?
I mean, you'll sing to anything because
Right,
you're
right,
there, right?
right.
But as far as like the rankings of songs, that's not even top 10.
Yeah,
But they play it every single time.
that's funny.
And I feel like that happens. I don't know, maybe not.
Well, to take it even a step further,
Yeah.
is that a lot of like, especially like in rap and but like with bands too, I'm sure like they'll record like songs, like they have like a catalog of songs that are just like unreleased.
In their bank.
Yeah, like just
Damn.
back there, like sometimes like some of the B-side songs that they release. Like like imagine, obviously there's really no way of knowing, but like think about like how many unheard bangers there have been.
Yeah.
Like like that would have been bangers, but they just never saw the
Right.
light of day.
Well, that's how like albums are released after a person dies, right?
Oh right.
Yeah, the posthumous
Those
ones.
unreleased tracks.
Yeah, like there's like I saw one like reviral-ish again recently, but there's like a Lil Wayne interview from a few years ago where like interviewers asking him like how many songs he has like just through his catalog, like 50 something, and he just like he like chuckles. He's like, I go through like 85 songs in a session, like I record. Granted, a lot of those are probably ass,
Yeah. Yeah.
but
Like not even fleshed out,
yeah, just spitting shit out like
Yeah.
whatever sticks. But.
Well, if you didn't know, this is a Chicago baseball podcast. We're talking about the Cubs and the White Sox. Today is Monday, June 6th.
Boom, 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 boom.
I feel like the previous episodes we've had like really meaty things to talk about.
Yeah.
And because of that, we haven't really gotten around to the league stuff.
Mm.
So maybe this week, I feel like not much happened. I mean, we had things happen.
Right.
And we'll get to it. But maybe we can
Swift through them.
hop around the league a little bit
Okay.
more.
Not much has happened, which maybe that in it of itself says a lot.
Oscar.
Facts.
Facts.
But before we get to any of that, what is tickling your fancy?
What tickle my fancy, fat man?
I'm gonna go first before you guys steal it. Sorry.
Go for it.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
Because I know one of you guys are gonna steal it probably. Or maybe it was in the bank. Today,
Yeah.
they had already been leaked, but the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim Baseball Club FC released their City Connect jerseys. And
yeah.
they're like in the top 3 for me so far that have been released.
Wow.
The last 2 releases that have come out have been, I think both of them are in my top 3. I think the White Sox one is there just because of bias. But like the Colorado one was sick.
Sick.
And this
sick.
Angels, the Angels hat, I'm like,
I haven't like gotten a close up look of it. Have you? I've seen it from far away. I don't know what it is.
The Angels account tweeted like 4 close-up pics of the
Okay.
uniforms.
I gotta see that.
There's like a little surfboard like above the MLB
Oh.
thing. That was a nice touch. I didn't see that from the
Oh, I
back away
didn't see
photo.
that. I didn't see that.
Yeah, but I love cream-colored jerseys. Always been a fan.
That's easy. Easy points.
Easy
Yeah.
point. Yeah.
Easy. It works with the red. It has like a weird double stripe on the left sleeve. One of them's thin and one of them is like super thick. I don't know if there's a reason behind
yeah.
that. That looks a little weird to me, just because I think the right sleeve doesn't have any stripes at all. It's just the left sleeve that has 2, one thin and one thick.
Oh,
Um,
dude, I love this.
but I've always been a fan of jerseys that have the numbers on the ribs, and then they took it a step further and it has like a baseball diamond around the numbers on the rib. And I just the whole uniform is a W. Looks awesome. I might buy a DH Gate knockoff whenever those are available, but looks sick. And they're not even available online. They're only going to be available at the team store.
China.
yeah, so
China,
I'm on this I'm on this tweet, and it says the 2 asymmetrical stripes featured on the left sleeve draw inspiration from the sleek and simple design of retro surfboards.
Okay.
That's
Yes.
cool.
Interesting.
Okay, I guess.
The socks have a little bit of water on them, like water waves.
Cool.
Yeah, the surfboard on the above, like the little ticket that the jerseys have on the bottom.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, I thought that was really sick.
That looks really nice.
We'll get to the Angels later.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, for other reasons.
we'll get to the Angels later. Oh, tickling my fancy. I have a lot of tickles my fancy this
Ooh,
week, but
yeah.
maybe the one that is tickling my fancy the most, if we could stay with the Angels here, is as soon as we finished recording our last week's episode, where we talked about the fantasy football league of one Jock Peterson and Tommy Pham, we got like a whole article full of a bunch of juicy details.
Yeah.
Like all the details.
All the details.
Classic.
And
but,
what we have to acknowledge that every time we record a podcast, no matter what day of the week it is, the day after, like news breaks.
Yeah.
it's like it could be any day of the week. We could record
Yeah.
on a Saturday and
Yeah.
a Sunday, and then that Monday the news are gonna come out. Crazy.
So if you listened, first of all, shout out. But you might have heard us pose the question, who do you think is the commissioner of this league? Well, we've got an answer to that.
I would have
One-
never guessed.
I would have never guessed.
I would have never guessed, but when I found out, I wasn't surprised.
What's his middle name? I want to give him his full name. Oh, I forget his name. Anyway, Mike Trout.
Yeah.
Mike Trout is the commissioner.
Clayton. No.
I don't know what it is. Michael something. You always
I
hear
gotcha.
when they do
Michael
the
Nelson.
There
Skip
it
for
is.
sure knows it.
Michael Nelson Trout.
Yeah.
Skip loves pronouncing full names.
It's good. It's a good shtick.
Yep.
I like that.
Yeah, Mike Trout is the commissioner, and that's not the only detail we got. Apparently, they forced Mike Trout into it. He didn't want to do it
I did not see. I didn't hear that one.
because nobody wanted to do it. Tommy
Of
Pham
course.
said,
Duh.
"Like, who wants to do that shit?" Right? So then, Tommy Pham ended up blaming himself, saying it's on us because we made him do it. Because at the end of the day, Tommy Pham says this is all Mike Trout's fault because he didn't step in and stop
Let's
the
go.
injustice from Jock
Yeah.
Peterson.
I wonder if he's gonna slap Mike Trout.
So I feel like the headline of that article went like
Oh, yeah.
viral
That
amongst
was
baseball
awesome.
Twitter.
Yeah.
But it's like Pham wasn't even serious about
He wasn't
it.
serious.
He was like joking around, like laughing when he said it. But whatever. Because it was a funny comment. But one of the comments was last year, like, how the fuck did Tommy Pham get stabbed twice in his life? And after this year, like, I now get why Tommy Pham been stabbed twice in his life.
Exactly.
So also we learned that the buy-in for this fantasy league was $10,000.
I thought it was gonna be way more.
You
Hands
thought it was
up.
gonna be more?
Yeah.
Nah, think about it. If
Millionaires?
it's probably like a 10-person league. That's a
I feel-
minimum
I
100.
feel
12,
like-
it was 12-team league.
12 teams. You're like making
feel
80K
like-
probably.
Yeah. I feel like Moscow Free Ukraine Mike.
Yeah.
Shout out. Is in those $10,000 leagues. I feel
in
like.
that league.
Yeah, he might be in that league.
And then also for a last place punishment, you had to pay another $10,000.
Oh shit.
And then they probably do like transaction fees as well. I don't know. That wasn't in the article, but those fees were in the article, which I found surprising, obviously. But I guess you're right. These guys are millionaires, right? But some of them aren't, right? Like, who knows who's in this
Yeah,
league?
True.
I know a lot of Padres were. I think Hosmer was in it. I saw a couple other names. But it is funny how apparently these guys take it pretty serious.
Did he say?
Apparently not Jock Peterson, though.
Did you say what app they use?
No, he
Did they get a
didn't.
little sponsorship there?
didn't,
They
but-
fucking use like ESPN or something.
Oh, I think it was ESPN, actually.
Nice. They use the worst one. W.
They used the worst one, bro. Yeah.
Touching on that, Ian Happ was on the Bernstein show, and they were asking him questions, and Bernstein asked him like if he partook in any of those fantasy baseball leagues or football leagues or whatever, and Ian Happ said no, but he was aware that Lackey at one point was paying or sponsoring air quotes the analytics team, fantasy team. So essentially, he was paying he was paying for a team run by the Cubs analytics team.
What?
That's fucking funny.
I don't know if they ever won. He didn't say. He didn't go as far as to say
That
anything.
is funny.
That is funny.
But that's smart, dude.
Yeah, that's good.
I mean, that's their job, right?
But that's like somebody trying to predict fantasy football. That's not going to work.
Right. Of course, we know that.
But they probably do some mad shit. It probably still doesn't work because, to your point, fantasy football is bullshit. But
It's totally
Dude,
bullshit.
that might be the answer to our forever asking argument of if fantasy football bullshit and we know this, right? It's all
It is.
luck.
It's like
But this could be our proof.
Yeah.
Be like, look at these guys. They study
I-
analytics and they can't get fucking
I maintain that it's like 85% luck, 10% skill.
20% knowledge of will.
Yeah.
Or whatever, however that goes.
And then that. I don't know what the other 5% is. It would be
Just
missed.
waking up super early before everyone else gets to
Yeah.
the waiver wire.
Not getting lazy. Big one.
Eddie has like the forever advantage of that.
I think I'm gonna change that this year, but that's for a different.
The
that's
fact
for
that
a
it's like
different
at
podcast.
2:05 a.m.
I know, I'm
is
changing
kinda
that.
Crazy. But also Lucas Jolito, I didn't even know that he was on the Chris Rose Rotation podcast this week. So shout out Rick for putting in the group.
Did you
But
listen to it?
not all of it. I had like 15 minutes left.
Mm.
But he did say how he's not in his own fantasy, like in the Sox fantasy football league. But he said that it was like a guess. He's like not 100% sure, but he thinks that the commissioner for the Sox fantasy football league is one of the front office guys. I thought that was kind of interesting. I was like,
Oh
what?
my god.
Like, I wonder how interesting that gets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Han trades a guy off because he got fleeced in a fucking fake trade as well.
Yeah.
That'd be funny.
But yeah.
That'd be funny. Awkward ass clubhouse because somebody got mad in the group chat over a GIF. Oh man.
Tickling my fancy. The College World Series is happening. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but I guess yesterday, Tennessee, I don't know who they were playing, but Tennessee, some dude hit a home run, a go-ahead home run. Dude, he's flipping the bird, running the bases.
Oh my
He's
god.
doing this.
It's like is he
hyped.
long blonde hair?
I'm not sure.
Probably.
Because I saw a highlight of a guy I didn't know that the World Series going on right now or the finals, but he like sprinted around the bases today because I guess
College baseball has hit crazy antics.
Yeah, crazy. Crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Did you see the one where the guy hit a home run and he was starting to like pimp walk and the umpire literally is pushing him up the line?
No.
Was that from the
Ridiculous.
World Series as well?
I don't know what that was
There's like,
from.
I feel like there's so many college baseball highlights.
Yeah.
95% of the ones I see are like all that Tennessee pitcher that allegedly throws 106 all the time. I do have a second tickle with my fancy.
Yeah.
Ramiro was on the fucking, was it Lawrence Holmes?
Oh
I called in. I'm
Low
a caller.
key fucked that guy. Because he low key talked shit at the end.
You know, I was gonna.
And he blocked you
Yeah,
on Twitter.
he did block me.
Damn, is he an app of the fucking Fielder's Choice podcast?
Wow.
He's definitely my app. I was gonna ask him about the block, but then he hung up. I'm
Oh,
like,
that
hey,
wasn't
unblock
that was
me.
on the air? I thought it was like pre-recorded. You send it in and
No, that was on air.
Why are you a bitch?
He
He
said thank you,
Yeah.
and then they cut it. I was like, fuck. Yeah,
No, but that was good. Well, we'll get into those Cubs topics you pulled up.
for sure.
All right. There's a couple other things, but maybe we'll get to them at the end. Let's get into the Cubs because Ramiro on 670 The Score today
Let's go.
brought up some very good points. Talking about how the entertainment value of this Cubs team is far exceeding the expectations.
For sure. And it's funny because I tweeted about this. Like any time in a rebuild year, because that's where we're at, you could like grab angst, which is what you guys are going through, and maybe not liking it. But when you ever could like get the feeling of angst and excitement for anything, that's a W. Even if you lose the game, whatever, the outcome really doesn't matter. But whenever you're at the park and then you get that crowd going and the juice is flowing, that's a good feeling. That's a good thing. Because we definitely, out of the 3 games that have been so far, the past game that I went to, was the Cardinals, was by far the more how would you say that the crowd was up for that game. Everybody was, you could feel the atmosphere in the air in that game, and that, naturally Cubs Cardinals. But I mean I've been to games where like that was not the feeling either way because the Cardinals weren't good. So, the Cubs were putting up a fight against the Cardinals this weekend, and you could definitely feel that at the ballpark. The Cubs, man, yeah, like Rick said, as far as like entertainment value, they're entertaining me right now. I'm actually looking forward to watching some of these games. And
Which is more than you can say for the last year's Cubs.
100%, and even like dating back, I said on the Score, like dude, like the 2018, 19, even 20 Cubs, that was a bad time for me because it was a different type of bad time because we expected to go to the playoffs and we expected to win in the playoffs, and the team was good enough to make the postseason, but they were never, like, in the back of your mind, you always knew, like, this team is not good enough to compete. And that sucks because there's a wall that you hit eventually, you know? Where, like, we literally, what was it? Like, we scored, like, one run in a series, in a divisional series or whatever, that one year. And then in the wild card game against the Rockies, we didn't even score. We lost, like, 1-0 or something, 2-0. It was just a bad time. It was just a shitty time because
And
you're not rebuilding, you're not moving towards the future, and then you're just stuck in mediocrity.
Yeah.
This is worse.
And it was a lot of it also with like the name value or like the name what's it called, like name recognition, star power,
For sure.
because even though the team was not producing, you had the star power that the fan base was so used to, like, holding up to this, like, you know, just really high up pedestal, like,
Right.
you know, Javi Baez, Chris Bryant, Anthony Rizzo. You look back, you look at those names now, and it doesn't have the same shine to it. But 5 years ago, these guys were freaking.
Yeah, and you had the payroll that was supposed to reflect a good team on the field, and it was just not happening.
Yeah.
Like, so we were stuck because we had the high payroll, the names, and we didn't have a farm system, so it's not like you could trade anyone to help you out in any way. So you were just stuck there with guys with bad contracts, superstars that weren't playing to their potential, and nowhere to go. You know, it was a bad time. Whereas now you're seeing, like, young guys come up and actually do pretty good at the major league level, and you're building towards the future. And I mean, obviously, like, I'm not expecting all of these guys or maybe even any of these guys to reach a superstar level of a major league player level that, you know, they're like your Mike Trouts or your Max Scherzers, because we have a lot of pitchers. But you have numbers, and that's what we're working with. You have a bunch of arms, young arms, and we're working with the sheer number of, like, 6-7 pitchers that hopefully one of those guys can figure it out.
Yeah.
And we're literally at the point of hope. Killian was called up over the weekend against the Cardinals. I attended the game. The dude was cruising through, like, the first 3 innings. Like, literally, I don't think they even got a hit.
No.
It got to the 4th inning, and they sort of, like, smacked him around. He eventually gave up 3 runs, which is not a lot. And he ended up going 6 innings, 3 runs with, like, 6 Ks. The dude was throwing 96, fucking dotting up in the zone. Could have been a better start, of course, but it wasn't a bad one. And that's what I took out of that. The Cubs went ahead and lost the game, even though Morel hit, like, a very clutch 7th or 8th inning single to tie it. They eventually lost it in extras, and then they proceeded to lose the Sunday game in extras again. And they took 2 out of the 5 in that series against a very good Cardinals team, allegedly. And before that, if you go back to the series before that, you put it up against the Brewers, 2 of the top dogs in the division, and you're out here putting up a pretty good fight with a bum-ass squad, and that is always good. You know, that's always a good feeling. Touching on Morel, the dude has gone on base every single game, and
That is impressive.
and on the doubleheader day, he got on base 3 times each of the games. So, you know, the guy has surpassed any expectations that anybody had for the guy.
Yeah, we didn't. they hadn't
Nobody
heard of
even
this
knew.
guy.
I didn't know who the fuck this guy was.
Right.
As a matter of fact, I know half of the guys that are being called up before the season started.
Well, that's one of the things too that has for sure obviously helped you guys be an enjoyable season, is that you guys have had, like, every guy come up and be productive.
Yeah.
Like, not really slump. Even going back to last year, which granted they're old, but in Patrick Wisdom and Frank Schwindel, who were 30-year-old rookies, 31-year-old rookies, they came in, and granted that was a bum squad because everybody was sold off, but they were lighting it up. And then going into this year, obviously Seiya Suzuki, although he cooled off a little bit in May, but one Rookie of the Month has been good. I know he's injured right now for, like, the batting practice injury that he took to the face or something like that.
Yeah, what is
but
going on with that?
Christopher Morel, like you said, is crazy on base rate. Killian came in and had literally a quality start. All these, like, young, or not all these young, but like the handful of young guys, young pitchers that have come up, whether it be Keegan Thompson or whoever else. There has been nobody to come up. You can make the argument that the only guy that has come up and been a dud is Madrigal.
Literally.
Wow.
and he's not even a Cubs product, which is
Right.
funny. I literally don't even know what the fuck that feels like as a Sox fan to have a guy to think of a Sox prospect coming up and getting on base 22 games in a row. That's literally I can't even imagine that.
No, we haven't had that. Except maybe Chris Sale.
Yeah, but even then he came out of the pen to
Yeah.
start his career.
Yeah, White Sox have never had a prospect come up and like,
Just kill
And
it.
you guys
just
have
kill
like all these young guys just come up, like you said, guys that are you maybe don't even like hear of them. Even Nelly, when he came up, his first hit, like was it in his first plate appearance? Just a little dribbler that he managed to beat down the line for his first hit.
I think both of his major league hits were infield hits, actually.
Yeah.
He got sent back down, and he's murdering the ball again in AAA. Yeah, I mean, and you're getting guys like Swarmer. Who the fuck is that guy? Just like literally the last two starts that he had. Dude has gone 6 innings in each and only given up like 2 runs.
That's what
It's
I'm saying.
wild.
Everybody's coming up and producing.
I will say, granted, I feel like coming up being a pitcher is easier to be good initially
there's
because
no book.
there's no book on you, there's no tape on you,
Yeah.
and you can just throw whatever you want, and guys are just going to be essentially guessing. There's not going to be no video or stat behind what they're trying to do to you up in the plate. So I understand that as well. I'm not going to
Teams
sit here.
teams do have minor league scouting reports, but
Yeah.
you know it's
You haven't seen it live.
you haven't seen it live, and there's not a lot of video. You guys have seen minor league broadcasts.
And it,
Oh, yeah.
dude, it's the,
The
word.
shaky camera angles. And not only that, but like before the announcement of Killian's start, it took them a long time on purpose for them to announce it. I feel like that was also on purpose. So guys couldn't prep for him maybe. And that was announced literally the night before, very late. Even though there was a lot of speculation online that he was going to start that game. But yeah, I mean, did I think that I was going to be this entertained about these Cubs? Hell no. And it's happening, and I'm grateful for that. Because if you guys remember, I wasn't planning on going to a lot of games this year, and now I find myself looking at the schedule and seeing like, oh, what is this matchup? Whoa,
Yeah,
who's going to pitch here?
You were very like decepcional going to the season. Was what I like the mood that I picked up.
Because I honestly felt like we didn't have pieces to even bring up to even show anything, and then you're getting all these randoms just coming up, and it's a good thing. Aside from Morel, there isn't really anyone else that I could see that will be coming up that I would be hyped about to go and see right away. And this leads me to the Brennan Davis news that he's getting back surgery out of the blue. This came out of the blue, and this is not a back surgery. What does that even mean? They were so vague about it too.
Yeah.
It's like spine shit.
I don't know.
That's scary
I don't know.
because that's like those are usually like I don't know if I'd say worse, but the long, they have a history of like being nagging for, that's
yeah.
essentially what ruined Creedy's career. That's one of the big things on Correa that caused him to miss a lot of games over the past few years. Just like those back issues because they're just kind of sporadic.
I mean, the man was killing the ball last year in minor ball, and he was a shoo-in to be called up this year and get a lot of playing time at the major league level, and that gets thrown out the window. And on top of that, there is no like timeline for his return. I don't know anything. I know he's getting surgery. I know he got surgery and it went successful, whatever that means. But his timeline of return is not clear, and they haven't said anything. So maybe he might miss next year, I guess. And that's huge because that was one of the young guys that you were kind of planning on to secure a position on the major league team and a building block for the future, I guess. And that, again, gets thrown out the window. So now you got to scatter and maybe change plans of when your window of contention is going to be now. I don't know.
I think, unfortunately, yes. Like it definitely alters the Cubs' game plan in the sense, and like this comparison isn't even great because Jake Berger isn't even a success story yet, but the dude went through a similar, just catastrophic injury, and then catastrophic injury again, and he missed some like super significant development time.
Yeah.
Like right when he was gonna be like, all right, this is top 10 overall draft pick, and he was gonna be a big part of the White Sox, and he got those injuries that just totally delayed his development. And I mean, the dude kept at it, which is a testament to his work ethic and obviously his drive and motivation. And now he's on the big league team, which is, I think, a success on its own.
For sure.
He's had struggles, but he's also had huge hits.
Yeah.
So, Brandon Davis, the number one prospect for the Cubs, right?
Yeah.
It's a bummer of an injury because that's a big one.
Yeah. Like you said, it's a big one, and it's one that is not like, it's not an injury that happens all the time, like an ACL or what have you. I feel like whenever you hear like an ACL, although it sucks, a player's going to come back normally because it happens so much, and it's so so ordinary in the majors now. But a back injury, again, I don't know. I don't even know what part of the back or what exactly is going on.
Yeah, let's get into this. Let's see. This is from Gordon Wittenmeyer. Surgery revealed no structural damage, and he might return before the end of, or optimistic reports Davis might return before the end of the season. While the timeline was still murky Friday, the club considered the initial post-surgery prognosis better than expected. This marks the second major injury setback in a month for a farm system upgraded with sell-offs of veterans over the past 18 months. Okay, so maybe that's already better than what we were thinking.
For sure. I haven't read anything, since last week when it initially happened. Yeah, I mean, that sounds optimistic, but with injuries, it's one of those show me first. I can't be all in again on the guy. You gotta show me, and I'm sure he will, hopefully. But this only means that he's going to be in the minors again next year, and for a good chunk of time, maybe half a season, until unless he starts like murdering the ball right away, which I don't expect, because he was already struggling before the injury, unless it was unless it was due to the injury. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, it's something that we're gonna have to keep our eye on, and again, it might be altering to the program that Jed is trying to run over there, and the window that he envisions. But I mean, there's a lot of names in the minors for the Cubs that may not necessarily hit the national media stream because they're not top 10, top 20 prospects. But it's a numbers game that if you have a pool of these like 10 prospect guys that are young enough and have raw talent, that maybe 2-3 of those guys turn into a major league player at one point.
And then 2 or 3 of those guys who can be like middle of the lineup guys, and then round out with
the money.
Round out with like the other guys who aren't them, but they could be like Adam Engels or.
Dude, Wisdom is a player, dude.
Or Patrick Wisdom.
Schwindel might not. He's hitting the ball a lot harder recently. But Wisdom, he's a major leaguer. He's a guy that's going to hit you 30 bombs a year, plays pretty good defense. You can move him to the outfield. He's a Chris Bryant type as far as, like, he's not great at any defensive position that he plays, but he was at first the other day. Like, he's a guy that you just move around. He's versatile, and he's going to, he hits for power. He's going to strike out a lot, but he's going to hit for power, and he's proven that he deserves to be up in the majors. Schwindel, maybe not so much, but it's one of those things, and I mentioned it before in other episodes where it's a show me what you got season, and a lot of guys are not showing a lot, and I'm talking about Frazier and Madrigal, unfortunately, but a lot of guys are, and Nico could play short, and Nico is spraying the ball all over the field, and Wisdom is a hitter, and Ian Happ is playing very well, and he's like the number 2 ranked left fielder in the National League. So he's up there, and as far as like, does he deserve to be an All-Star this year? He has an argument, and Wilson Contreras is literally the best catcher in the majors right now. So obviously, a lot of moves are going to be made come the trade deadline, like we mentioned, and hopefully, if we trade Wilson, which I do think they will, we get a pretty good haul for him, and we keep on trucking. But Cubs baseball right now is I wouldn't say a must watch, but it's definitely something I look forward to, and a lot of that has to do with Morel, which is hilarious. Because that dude is he gets on base, he steals, he moves around, he's hype. I like everything. I like everything about the guy. It's awesome.
Energy.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to chat, by the way. If you didn't know, if you don't want to wait to get these episodes into your Spotify or Apple Podcast, we stream live on YouTube.com. You can find it. Fielder's Choice Podcast. We got some people in the chat right now. But Frankie, shout out, he says, talking back about Brandon Davis, he says, I think he had a blood clots over a nerve, which is good because it wasn't a disc or anything major. LOL.
True. If that's what it is, then yeah, for sure. I when I hear back surgery, I'm thinking like spine, like what the fuck? Yeah. One of those crazy ass injuries. I don't know.
If we had a producer, he would drop the Mike Tyson soundbite right there.
Classic.
Spinal.
I broke my back.
Broke my back.
But just before we leave on the Cubs, hilariously enough, we saw the past week we saw pitching performances by Thompson, Steele, Swarmer, Killian, and the one guy that shit the bed was Stroman.
Yeah, he did.
He shit the fucking
bed. He's on my fantasy team, dude.
He shit the bed against the Cardinals. He started off great, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
He had the swag going, and then he just got pooped on.
And then his one of his tweets went viral among the Yankee fan base.
Yep.
Probably doesn't.
He deserves all. Like, you can't be on Twitter like saying all that stuff and then not expect people to just come back at you.
And also delete tweets.
Yeah,
he deleted tweets. Oh,
yeah,
that was rough.
The worst part about that is that he deleted them.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Trash.
And then you called that he was gonna post some inspiration.
I knew it.
In his story.
I know my team. So that was classic. And again, the Cubs, and then you have bullpen who's been nails as fuck. Who just like you could throw out guys like Efros who throws a crazy frisbee ass slider, and Norris and Givens and all these guys are finding ways to like be good. And Robertson is a good closer again, and you could trade him for stuff. It's wild. It's a wild season for the Cubs.
And that's where you could get good returns.
Yeah.
You get guys who have a good season on the first half, and you get playoff teams who need bullpen help because teams will need bullpen help, and you get a good little return.
For sure.
Yeah. Where I guess we have plenty of time to think about where Contreras is going to end up.
I saw the Mets were a team that are kind of linked to him just because they need a catcher.
Yankees.
What happened to McCann?
The Yankees. McCann's hurt right now.
Like hurt?
I think he's been on the IL for a couple of weeks. Could double check, but yeah, the Yankees as well.
I mean, yeah, I would think the Mets because Cohen is like he doesn't care about money, so he'll do anything. He doesn't care about money, let alone prospects, right? So yeah, maybe we could fleece the Mets real quick.
The Yankees makes a lot of sense, I think,
Oh, for sure.
because they have Higashioka and what's the other guy they have?
They traded from the
Retmer Durs. I forget what his name is, but I mean they don't have
Redmeyer? Is it Redmeyer?
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, Jim McCann had a surgery.
Oh, Jesus Trevino.
Jim McCann had surgery back in early May. Surgery on his wrist. He's going to miss at least 6 weeks.
Okay. All right, let's move over to the White Sox, who got swept by the Toronto Blue Jays. And we talked about the Cubs series. Yeah, they got swept by the Blue Jays in close games, annoyingly. They lost 5-6, and then 3-7, and then 3-8, which don't sound very close, but they felt close before they blew up.
Yeah. Well, at least one of those games was close late, until the Blue Jays took the lead, and I couldn't help because before the series started, it came out the two guys weren't going to make the trip, and that was Cease and Graveman. And I just kept thinking, and I'm sure I kept thinking this because I heard this before the series started that if you were going to need Graveman in a late inning tie situation game, that was going to hurt, and that's exactly what happened.
What I'm wondering is, what's going to happen? In the 2% possibility that the White Sox have to travel to Toronto for a playoff series.
They're going to get vaxxed. Well, allegedly Cease is vaxxed, but the only reason he couldn't make it was because he didn't get the
booster.
The booster,
Yeah.
which is dumb.
Or I don't know if that's true because I saw that theory because he was in Toronto last year.
Right.
But last year they had an exception.
Mm.
So I don't know.
I don't know either.
I don't know.
Yeah, the Graveman one is a bummer. I like Graveman. He's been pretty solid all season, with the
Yeah.
exception of like 2 outings.
Yeah.
I don't know if obviously he's to blame, but also he's used literally every other game. It feels like because every other game is a fucking 1-run or 2-run game. But yeah, I mean it sucks. I would have been more probably pissed off if it was like we were in a lead position. And he wasn't available, and then like Jose Reese or Raylo comes in and they blow the game or they blow the lead. But it was more so, and obviously it's still frustrating because the White Sox baseball has been very frustrating.
Yeah.
But that it was like a 1-run game or 2-run game the other way, and then it just got blown out of.
Yeah,
out of reach.
honestly, it didn't really bother me that much because of that. I think like if they did have a lead and we didn't have our setup to hold it, and the guy who, like Oscar just said, like the guy who took his spot blew it, then that would have made me pissed. But the fact that the offense was dead, I didn't really have time to think about Kendall Graveman,
Yeah.
And then they traveled to Tampa, which is an interesting little tidbit that we saw going around. Apparently, major league teams are not flying back from Toronto.
Crazy.
Excuse me. They are taking ground transportation, aka a bus, into the States, because if you do that, you don't have to get COVID screening.
Yeah.
And because if you do that and you come out positive,
Everybody has to
The
stay.
whole ass team.
no, just the whoever is positive.
I think it's the whole team, dude.
I read that the whole team has to stay.
I think that's the way they do it.
No, I think that you have to leave the guy back. Whoever is positive, they have to stay there.
How sure are you of that?
Pretty sure. I
Because
read it like
everywhere I've
twice.
heard was that the reason everybody does it is because they don't want to leave the whole ass team behind.
That would be crazy.
I read
But
that as well, but I don't know. I don't know for sure.
Yeah, I guess we're not sure. But yeah, and at first I thought it was like a White Sox thing. I was like, oh great, more news, right?
That's how it was like worded. It almost felt like
it
I've heard.
was, yeah. But apparently, I guess every team's doing it. And on this podcast on the Chris Rose rotation, there was a very funny story where Giolito was telling, and you should go on and hear him tell it because it's pretty funny. They had to go to Tampa, right? So they take the bus like overnight, and then their bus driver pulls over the side of the road to take a dump in the bus.
Oh, okay.
And the bus driver was like pulled over for he says like 7 minutes. So when he came back out, he lost the bus that he was following,
Sick. Wow.
which was the bus that all the coaches were in. So then they're driving and he can't find his way, and they end up in like a residential area.
Oh my god.
And this is a big ass bus.
Right.
Sorry if I'm like spoilers here, Oscar. But the way he tells it is funny. Like, imagine like, you're in your house and you see this big ass
White
bus.
Sox.
Yeah. But yeah, so they got to do that. Then they finally get to the little airport to fly them to Tampa. They get to Tampa. By the time you get to Tampa, it's like 2 a.m. and then
2:30.
2:30, and then dude, you don't think about this stuff.
This is nasty.
You don't. I don't think about this stuff, right?
No.
Because I would assume when he was telling that story, I was like, or at least you get the data like to catch up on your sleep. But they had a game that day.
You can sleep in the best hotel in the world, but if you're only sleeping 4 hours, it's still
Yeah.
shit.
And like Chris Rose said, it's like you get to your hotel at 2:30, but it's not like you're knocking out right away. Like
Yeah.
you're getting there long trip. And then in Giolito's case, he's sick. So it's
Sounds like what I had, by the way.
They said a very bad head cold.
Yeah.
I don't know what a head cold is, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear it, but I still sound like shit. I'm pretty sure you can hear it. But yeah, dude. I just had I guess a head cold. I don't know what it is, but just like nonstop boogers and
Yeah.
coughing.
congestion,
It sucks. Anyway, they get to Tampa. They lose the first game. They scored 3 runs like 4 days in a row.
yeah, legitimately. Yeah, 4 days in a row they scored 3. Not even kidding.
Unbelievable. And then Saturday they win by scoring 3 runs. And then Sunday they finally break out in the first 2 innings for 6 runs, which felt euphoric. It was like an unknown feeling at
It's
this
only
point.
it's only the second time all season that we score 4 more runs in an inning.
Wow.
Second time?
The only other time was literally game 3 of the season versus Detroit back in April.
How?
And I didn't watch the game, but all the stories that I heard on the radio was that it was great, right? But then like they allowed 5 runs later on
Yeah.
in the game, and it turned into another
1-run game.
fucking angst ass game for
Yeah.
you guys.
The
Yeah,
good
and-
thing is Liam Hendricks is,
Rested.
amazing.
Rested.
Yeah.
That motherfucker has the pitch of the week.
Yeah.
What
Literally.
the fuck? Yeah.
Legitimately well rested. And
Yeah.
he had like a sort of, rested Graveman who came in back-to-back outings.
Yeah.
Granted, he almost blew the
One of
lead
them.
on the first. On the first game back, but he got the job done. But yeah, even the Jolito, he gave up the runs in the 5th. He gave up a total of 5 runs, but only 2 of them were earned.
Because what was it?
It was
Andrew Vaughn, right?
it was a bad throw. It was Danny Mandek ground ball, throws it to Yasmani. Yasmani, the
Right.
literal catcher, does not catch the ball.
All right.
And then a fly ball to right field that maybe an actual right fielder maybe makes a better play at it.
Yeah.
Andrew Vaughn didn't get to it, and then he gives up a home run.
We need to talk about what's gonna happen with Yasmani. Like it's for real now.
Well, it was for real last year like this. It was like this last year. And then he turned around.
There was one big but though. That
he was walking. He was
This year-
walking. This year he's not.
The only reason I haven't fully turned against like Yasmani, and I'm not. I say it in the group just out of like the confidence of it's in the Sox group. I'll be like, yeah, it sucks or whatever anytime he's up. But he is like the 4th best framer in the league.
Yeah.
So he's at least elite at one aspect.
And
of-
But he can't catch.
his role,
He's a bad defensive catcher.
he's not.
He
he's
is.
like a top 5
No
defensive
way,
catcher.
dude. He's bad. Come
When
on.
it comes to being, oh shit, getting a spam call. When it comes, if you take, I guess you have to break down what part of defense you're talking about.
he
You're
might be
talking
a
about
good framer,
would-
I guess.
and that's
he's
part of it.
literally an elite
but
framer.
he like you can't throw a pitch on the ground with that guy.
You
No,
can.
You can. I would say the only bad thing of Yasmani behind the plate is his arm.
And his arm. Yeah.
his arm. Yeah,
'Cause-
you can run on him all day.
Defense, he doesn't really get a lot of pass balls. But he did last year. But last year he had the knee issues all year, and he switched his catching stance.
Why does he get benched then?
I don't know.
I think
Get
it's a lot
outta
of
here.
rest,
No,
and also
what?
offensively, legitimately.
But he plays
don't-
CH like a lot.
Yeah, dude. No,
Well, that's why I rest from the catcher position.
yeah, and supposedly he was gonna catch a lot this year. So I'm assuming, and I'm not even assuming. I think he has said that he's playing through something.
Oh, okay. Is
So-
he hurt? Yeah.
'cause
Then
he-
it might be different.
Because if he's not hurt and they're starting Reese McGuire all these games, like what are you doing? But I think he's playing through something, which also begs the question: just give him on an IL stint just to get fully recovered.
Yeah.
Because him and Reese McGuire have split the load pretty much 50-50.
Yeah. It's like every other day.
Yeah, which I don't hate. I know Reese McGuire is horrible with the bat, but he's good defensively.
Right.
He's better at what Yasmani is not good at, which is nice because he could be a defensive replacement for Yasmani. If you have the lead, put Reese McGuire behind the plate and he can stop the run game, and he has good blocking, but he does miss some as well.
And the reason I brought that up is because when Eloy comes back, I don't think you guys are gonna trot him out in outfield.
Yeah, they gotta.
They gotta.
I think
You
they
guys
will.
have too many DHs.
Yeah, we have a lot of
Way too
DHs.
many.
We have a lot of
But
first
I'm,
basemen.
I wouldn't be shocked if Sheets gets sent down.
That
He's also
needs to happen.
struggling, right?
Cause
He's not even struggling. He's just bad.
He'll hit a home run once every 2 weeks type of guy. He can't field.
No.
He's a home run or bust guy.
Yeah.
He's not. He's a home run or bust, and the occasional he's late on a swing and it goes to the left field when he has an extreme overshift.
Literally, the only thing keeping him on the big league roster is
Injuries.
left-handed.
Oh, and
Oh.
he's left-handed. Yeah.
Yeah, and Tony La Russa is. I mean,
He sucks that cock for fucking. Left
Yeah.
you know what? I was gonna go as
Not. Fucking
No, I was.
vulgar.
I was gonna go as vulgar as you, and you finished my sentence.
Oh, sorry, I took that from you. 'Cause,
No.
I
I don't know, man.
I mean, the
I don't
Manoah
think
game.
I don't think I've ever seen a manager as hard for the lefty righty.
the Manoah game was a good example.
That's 1999 baseball right there.
Dude, like he will.
Word, like 1939 when he was like 10 years old and
There's
he was
only
in the
5
game.
lefties in the whole major league.
He was like he learned it watching the
It's like-
listening to the 1938 World Series. on the radio.
You have freaking Ted Williams, or Leary Garcia. Oh, he's switch hitter. You got to put him in. Like, dude, one guy is a better hitter than the other. Like,
Yeah.
For us to be successful, I mean, it seems like everybody, with the exception of like 2 guys on offense, have been slumping all year. Everybody's underperforming. Everybody's playing bad. It seems like Pito has thankfully turned it around. He's like
Yeah.
hot over the past 3 weeks. Vaughn he's had like
He's
little
great.
spurts. He's really good,
He's
and then
good.
he'll be quiet for a couple
He's
games. But obviously, it's
the
baseball. It's a
truth.
hard sport.
Yeah.
He's
But
good.
he's a great hitter.
and
Luis-
he's a dangerous hitter, which I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, if
Scared of
he goes 0 for 4, the next day he could hit a freaking bomb.
Yeah. He's a guy you want to play when there's like a big moment up. Luis Robert has been okay. It's the same thing. He goes through spurts where he's really hot, then cools off a little bit. But everybody else has been kind of booty. So hopefully these guys turn it around. We're supposed to get Lance Lynn and Eloy sometime soon. Eloy's already playing games. The plan for Lynn was for him to have 3 rehab starts before he rejoins the team. He's had 2 of those starts already. So I don't know. Hopefully we turn it around. But the key is to not be ass and
Get
to
Tim Anderson back.
Tim Anderson back
who's
and
progressing well.
to outperform against Tony's wishes.
Yeah.
For as hard as Tony wants to lose games.
And going back a little bit to Luis Robert, he finally has reached 162 career games, a full season's worth. And in those 162 games, counting all those like month-long slumps and everything, in 162 games he has 30 home runs, 94 RBI, 22 stolen bases, and his OPS plus is a 128.
Yeah, and even with his lumps this year, like take a look at his baseball savant page, and everything is in the red.
Yeah.
It's he's good.
He's good.
He's good.
And yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think that, he's gone through legitimately month-long slumps where he'll go like 1 for 30. And even through that, he has a 294 batting average in 162 games, 494 slug, 341 on base percentage. He's good.
Yeah, he's good. And at the very minimum, you're gonna get Gold Glove caliber defense.
Yeah. Yep.
Like literal Gold Glover in center field.
I also wanted to give a shout out to Danny Mendick, who has been taking a lot of Tim Anderson's playing time, and holy smokes, something about the White Sox shortstop position. He went off this week.
Yeah, he had like 3 or 4 straight multi-hit games. He stepped it up. He's he's one of those guys who like quadruple A guy,
Yeah.
where he's mostly gonna be in AAA, but if a guy gets hurt, he'll come up for a couple games before being optioned back down. But
Yeah, last 7 games, batting .375, 400 on base percentage. That's, dude.
yeah, obviously, yeah, if he could do that until Tim gets back, then
Yeah.
major W. But all we can ask is that you not BS.
So we're ready to see Josh Harrison DFA'd and to get Lennon Sosa up from the minor league affiliate,
Or Yolbert.
or Yolbert Sanchez. I don't know why Josh Harrison hasn't played as much. He's also been hurt, right?
Not that I know of. I mean, he like kind of plays one day on, one day off.
Yeah.
I guess it's just his versatility across the alleged versatility across the board. He can play second base, third base.
Yeah.
But yeah, he picked it up over the past couple of games. He's had a couple doubles, couple hits, but he's just not good. He's
So
hitting below 200. I don't know if
He
they're going to
has-
DFA him, what their plan is
9 singles, 8 doubles.
on the season, on the entire season.
Isn't that crazy though? 9 singles, 8 doubles. That's crazy. The White Sox have the Dodgers starting tomorrow, which will be interesting. The best team in baseball, right? Or is this the Yankees?
Record-wise, it's the Yankees.
All right. Best team in the National League. Actually, that's the Mets now. What else we got?
I mean, that's kind of it, really. We all after the Dodgers series, we play the Rangers, so fully expect Marcus Simeon and Corey Seager to whatever slump they're in to completely fix it. Dane Dunning revenge game. Steele Walker's gonna hit a home run.
Well, Simeon has hit 2 home runs since we last spoke for his first 2 home runs of the whole year.
Wild, dude.
So he might be sort of turning around a little bit.
Perfect timing.
He'll fix it this weekend. That's like a guarantee. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to expect from this White Sox team.
We know what it is? Is baby steps. Because I feel like this whole time I've been like, you got to get to first place. I want to be in first place, and right now they're in third.
I think you're thinking too far ahead. You just win games.
No, that's what I'm saying. Before I was in like, we gotta get to first place.
Gotcha, yeah.
Score runs.
Yeah, literally.
Score
Like,
literally
win
more than 3 runs.
Win the
Okay.
inning, you
Yeah.
know, and do that. Make the play. Don't boot the ball.
Yeah.
You know.
Play all 9 innings.
Yeah. Play all 9 innings.
Respect 90.
There it
Yeah,
is.
and to be fair, sort of ish. I mean, not really any excuses because offensively our numbers are bad as a team, and then just individuals across the board for the team. But the schedule has been kind of brazy the past 2 months, and we have the luck, which we can take advantage of it, is that we are in arguably the worst, but for sure one of the worst divisions in baseball. And our second half schedule is legit. I mean, on paper, it's kind of smooth sailing in terms of we're done with the AL East. We're not going to be facing the Dodgers. We have a series next weekend against the Astros. So all these like top dogs in the league, we're kind of getting them out of the way in the first half.
Yeah.
And it's going to flip with the Twins, who will then have that schedule in the second half, who have been facing like the A's, Rangers, Royals, Tigers, like consecutively for the past 2 months.
Yeah.
The only thing I will say about that is that you guys' record against the AL Central is not good.
It's not good.
Which is like 9-12 or something like
yeah.
that.
It's horrible.
It's bad.
And that, I mean, obviously, if that record stays there, then they're not doing anything. But I do think, once they get out of whatever the hell they're in, they should start stomping the AL Central.
Moncada needs to start hitting, dude.
He needs to,
Damn, dude.
Jesus
Yeah.
Holy
Christ.
crap.
Yeah. I mean, it's the hashtag the White Sox way. Nobody is ever going to come in and just do good.
Nobody.
There's
or if
warm-
he's hurt, just like Rick said, put people on the IL, like whatever.
There's like a warm up time. Like you need these guys to have their little ice baths, rub the Bengay on them, massage them, like coddle them a little, and then like hopefully 35 games in, they start to heat up a little bit. That is the White Sox way.
Until it isn't. That's how it's always been.
Yeah, that's how it's always been, and I don't think it will ever switch the other way.
Yeah.
At least not during this window.
And the only time it ever happened was Yermin Mercedes.
Yeah.
And then he disappeared. He literally retired.
The Herminator, baby. But he's only played like 22 games or something like that since coming back from injury, because obviously he started the season on the IL. I think unless this would be like historic, crazy bad luck. These guys, I don't think are this bad. This would be career all-time low slumps like to just fall off of the face of the earth.
Yeah.
And sure, that definitely that's possible and that could happen. And if that happens to the White Sox, that would be hilarious. Where every single guy just fuck it, they just stop. They don't no longer know how to play the sport of baseball. But I do think that at some point, somehow, some way, they will turn it around. What I'm not saying they'll be top of the league good. Maybe
They'll just be who they were. Like,
But
that's all
at
I'm
the-
asking.
yeah, at the
which is
very
good.
least average. At the very least, I think that's what I'm hoping for would be
Yeah.
the case at
I'm
some point in
asking,
the coming weeks.
yeah. All I'm expecting is for them to be who they've been their entire careers.
Right.
And it's the 4 dudes. It's Yoan Moncada, who, dude, he was like a 5-win player.
Yeah.
Like, he has that
Literally
ability.
last year.
He has that talent. And if you're telling me this is Moncada now,
I don't think it is.
like, that would be, like, they could do a 30 for 30 on that, you know?
Right.
That's a Space Jam. You lost your
Yeah.
talent. There's Yoan Moncada, there's Yasmani Grandal, who every year has been a, one of
That
the-
one, I think.
what do you
I
mean?
think he's toast.
How, though?
I think
you
he's
think
toast.
Like, he can be toast, but not like this.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. I think that last year was more of a telltale sign than anything because
Of what?
again, like that
Last
he
year
can
was his
hit.
best year ever.
That he just walks.
He went
No.
he went nuclear in the second half. Like if you look at just his second half numbers, he hit like over 300 on the season.
Okay.
Yasmani's last year was his best offensive year, I think, of his career. He was unbelievable. He would either walk or hit a home run every time. It was insane. Like, he didn't strike out. He didn't. It was unbelievable. It was crazy. He would go to games where it was like 3 walks and a home run. That's why it's hard for me to see, like, it just stopped. Like, there was no decline.
Yeah.
So there's those two, and then there's AJ Pollock, who every year of his career, he's been like 130 WRC plus, and now all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he's 75.
Yeah, Yasmani last year from June 1st, because he started off horrible to start this. He was literally hitting like 175. From June 1st to the end of the year, he slashed 304 with a 445 OBP and slugged 637. He was good for a WRC plus of 191.
That's
Okay.
Barry Bonds. It was ridiculous.
Yeah. So it is insane that he is slumping this hard, and I think part of that does have to do with the fact that he's just not getting on base as much. But yeah, like you said, it would be insane for all of these guys to just fall off the face of the earth and just now be bad
Just
forever.
and then the fourth guy is Eloy Jimenez, who we've seen him destroy pitchers, like as a rookie, just like beat up on veterans.
Well, Elo is a little different because his injury, right?
Yeah. But like when he was healthy, he like
Oh yeah, of course.
90% ground ball rate. Like, what happened?
Okay.
And I get what you're saying from Yasmani because obviously he's a veteran. He's an older guy and a catcher that's obviously a very taxing position. But he is still, like I said, he's still an elite framer. I don't think he's this offensively. I also don't think he'll replicate what he did last year because, like Rick just said, that's probably his best offensive season of his career. But somewhere in between that, just his career average. That's all you can ask for. But yeah, I mean, he's obviously on the older side. But that would be insane if this is who he is now.
Yeah.
A stat that I did see over the weekend that doesn't bode well for you guys is that you guys have a very bad run differential.
Yeah.
And I believe the stat was only 12 teams have ever made the playoffs after hitting negative 50 run differential. And one of those teams was last year's St. Louis Cardinals, who went on a 17-game winning streak. 17-game winning. So
I want a
the
3-game
numbers
winning
are
streak.
not working with you guys, but hey, anything
And
happens.
here's the
Also,
difference. Here's the
I'm-
difference for that. Is the Cardinals had to do that in order to beat the Brewers, who were a very good team. The White Sox, all they got to do is worry about the Twins,
True.
who are a good team, but their wheels are starting to get a little shaky as well.
True.
Yeah, and they've had like you got to beat the teams you face, obviously, but they've had like a cakewalk of a first half of a schedule. And also, I don't really care too much for run differential, to be honest with you. And I remember this is actually something we talked about with the Cubs a couple years ago. We've been blown out like 4 games, so that's gonna obviously skew the
I've
run
got
differential
Yeah.
one way for sure.
For sure.
yeah,
And that's like 4 losses.
yeah.
or you've
sure.
just completely been blown out?
For the long ass time listeners of this podcast, I used to hate run differential, and then I kind of did a 180 on it. I kind of see the merits. I think there was like one Fangraphs article that I read that made me like open my eyes a little bit. Like, oh, I see why that's kind of important. But I'm still a little bit on with you, Oscar, on like there's some games where it's like it's a 4-2 game for 8 innings.
Right.
And then, some dude hits a grand slam, and then we put in a position player, and another dude hits a grand slam. That game was close the whole time, and then it ends up being like a -10 on the run differential.
sure.
And then, that one, like kills your run differential, and it's hard to climb back out of that. But I do think it is indicative of, like, it's a simple how many runs can you score and how many runs can you prevent.
Right.
Yeah, and we have the worst offense, one of the worst offense in the leagues right now. We're legitimately, like, we've only scored 3 runs in like 85% of our games.
And I will say this about the sport of baseball is that there's so many stats that you can nitpick anything you want to tell any sort of story about a team, which is why, I mean, again, I agree with you guys. Run differential, and I wouldn't say all the stats, but a lot of the stats, it's only illustrating to you what's happening in the season. And we're seeing it, right?
Yeah.
Like you said, like it's only 3 games that you got blown out, but every other game is a very close game. So your run differential naturally is in the negatives and by a lot. But it's funny because another stat that I heard over the weekend was apparently there's a stat called the
Pythag record, which is a mathematical record deducted from the run differential.
Right. And it's almost like an illustration of where your team, quote unquote, is supposed to be record wise.
Yeah.
And apparently the Sox are surpassing that stat and
Way surpassing.
right. And because apparently you guys are supposed to be like 5 or 6 games under.
like
in the
15.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised.
So some people were making the argument that Tony La Russa was actually doing a way better job than he's supposed to be doing, which is funny because, again, baseball on their stats, you could nitpick anything.
Yeah,
Right?
and I think you posted that on the on the group chat. Like, there's no way Tony gives us any advantage. I don't buy
no
that.
shot.
I don't believe that.
There's no shot.
No shot.
But I'm sorry. go
Some
ahead.
people will gladly and happily point to the Tampa Bay win where Tony put in 2 pinch hitters and one was a single and the other one was a home run, and so it's like, oh, Tony won that game. It's like, all right, 1 out of 99, go for
Dude,
it.
but go ahead and mark down like one of the many bonehead moves. And they're like, well, yeah, but then the player has to yada yada and this and that, and in hindsight and all this. It's like, dude.
Yeah,
But yeah, I'm not. I don't know what the equations go into that, but I mean, our offense has been horrible.
yeah,
The fact that we've been playing, we went like on a 9-game losing streak,
crazy.
legitimately 9-game losing streak, then another 4-game losing streak, literally just a couple of days ago. So the fact that we've been playing as bad as we have been, legitimate bad baseball, for most of the season, and we're only a handful of games back of the Twins. Our first place is kind of encouraging. And even then, a record against the AL East, that's like allegedly the best division in baseball and yada yada, we went like 12-7 or something like that against the division. So
Yeah,
whatever.
and
That's
then
what it is.
the last thing on the run differential, an interesting one was the Yankees series. The Yankees, let me pull it up here, see if I can find it. The one where they killed us. What was that?
That was a Dylan C start now, and one of the Keiko ones as well.
Yeah, so we lost 4-10, and then we lost 1-5. So that is a run differential of minus 10, right? Do the math.
I didn't hear the numbers.
5 plus, yeah, minus 10. And then, I lost my train of thought here.
Dang it.
Essentially, the White Sox had a minus run differential for the series, and they won 2 games.
Yeah, against the AL East this year, we finished 11-8. 11-8. So
Yeah, that's
good.
That's a tough ass division.
Having not played the Orioles, by the way.
Do they get to play the Orioles?
I don't think so. I saw that we're done with the AL East.
Unbelievable.
Or actually, no, that's a
No,
lie.
I
we
saw
have
the
to play them.
graphic, the picture you sent. and I saw the Orioles on there.
What? We haven't played the Orioles this year.
No,
Are
but
they
you will play the
gonna?
Orioles.
Yeah, we will be playing
Yeah.
the Orioles.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
okay.
We play all teams.
And we're gonna get swept by them, right?
I saw that we're done playing the good AL East teams.
Gotcha. So looking at Fangraphs,
I guess we will get swept.
team's probability of winning the division for the AL Central. The White Sox are 43.9%. The Twins are at 43.3%. It's a dead heat.
Yeah, I still believe we haven't really played the Twins this year. I think we've had literally one series against them, and then we play them a bunch in the second half.
Remember that series?
Those are gonna be lit, by the way.
Remember that one with the Byron Buxton?
Yeah, that was an implosion. That was a Liam Hendricks, the home run, and then I forgot what else happened. It was a bad series, whatever.
Yeah.
It's been a bad season. But the Buxton thing was funny.
Dude, he hit that like 500 feet.
Whatever. But the schedules will flip in terms of strength of schedule and the teams we play.
Yeah.
And hopefully these guys come back and Lance Lynn comes back and is okay. Eloy Jimenez comes back. Tim Anderson comes back. And these guys start to sort of hit form somewhat.
We still got to deal with a couple more big injuries because
Yeah, it's
you just got to brace yourself for those.
gonna happen.
And
And who knows what we do at the deadline?
who
That
knows?
has whether the White Sox are cool with cutting ties with like the Yolbert Sanchez's and the Lennon Sosa's to better supplement the team, whether it be in the pen or offensively. We'll see. We'll see what
Man,
happens.
if they make another trade for another bullpen guy, I'm going to be mad.
I
there's
mean,
no way.
Tony needs his guys. But also speaking of bullpen, hopefully Kelly comes back soon as well, and we have a healthy bullpen. Because every game it's fucking Reese and fucking Foster. Although Foster's been decent, Sosa, fucking Kyle Crick gets sent down and back up every other day so he could pitch.
Snip.
Fucking Tanner Banks, Raylo. I want to see the good guy. I want to see the guys who take up half of our payroll pitch every other day.
That would be
please.
cool.
I want a queen.
All right, let's get into some news. I want to know what the hell is going on with Chris Bryant.
He's dead.
All
He's
that being
gone.
said,
I don't know.
Huh?
He's living in Aspen. I don't know what he's doing.
he took the bag. That's what
Dude,
he's wanted his whole life. He just
what
wanted
a great
the bag.
trade that was. Damn.
Wow.
We got a
What'd you
Killian,
guys get?
a
Oh,
pitcher.
Caleb Killian.
We got a pitcher.
You got a pitcher.
Yeah.
Not a belly.
Dude, all the trades were amazing, actually, if you look back at them. Low key as fuck, great move by the org.
Yeah. The
Great.
front
They
had
offices
to.
for the
They
most
had to.
part, yeah. They had to
Dude,
trade him.
the team sucked for like 3 years straight.
Yeah.
You can't do that.
You guys got lucky that they started blowing ass when they did. Because they had a hot first, 3 months.
Oh, right. Remember you
And
said they
then
were going to be buyers?
Jed Hoyer literally said they were going to be
Right.
buyers. And then they just all, shook hands and were like, fuck it, let's bounce. And shit the can. And then that's why it was easier to sell. Because
course.
if they're, a game back or first or whatever, I don't know if that happens.
Damn.
Dude, I don't think that happens.
No,
because
no shot.
you guys were as fans already kind of mad that these guys were getting traded away and the season was punted. I can't imagine what would have happened or what the reaction would have been if you guys were a game or two back and they get sold away.
Or we start buying and
Yeah.
get rid of everything. Yeah, of course.
Oh, shout out to chat. This is my bad. I'm not keeping an eye on it. But Moscow, free Ukraine, Mike.
Right.
The Boston series killed the White Sox run differential. They scored 33 runs. I think 32 of them in the first and last game of the series.
Nice.
Damn.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys
Damn.
caught the Red Sox at the wrong time.
Wrong time.
Literally the hottest team in baseball, whatever. That's happened. That's happened 3 times already this season, where we got the hot ass Angels, the hot ass Red Sox,
Yeah.
and then the hot ass Yankees as well.
One thing I
But
will
granted, they
say,
stayed hot.
and because I know that you guys are going to play Arizona this year and all that, they're a tough team. So don't look at that team. And I know it's way ahead.
Oh, dude.
But don't look at them and be like, oh,
I'm
dude,
not.
they're tough.
We are
dude.
terrified of every team right
I'm not
now.
looking at that. I don't think any team is bad right now. Every team is
We're
there's just
worse
hope
than
to
them.
win. Yeah, I said that today in our group chat, where it was we were talking about Dallas Keuchel because he got picked up by the Diamondbacks on a minor league deal.
All right.
It was how we played them later in the year and how he went to I put in quotations ass and in parentheses I put they have one more win than the Sox. LOL. So That's how ass they are, and we are.
Dallas better pitch against you guys.
I hope he does.
I love the. I mean, I'm in for it. I'm here. I want to see it.
There
Yeah,
is,
Don.
here's the thing, though. He's really bad.
I know, but I just want to see it.
You want to see how bad he
I
is?
want to see what story comes out of that.
I would be worried if he was a righty, because he would throw literally a perfect game against us. But the fact that he's a south tossing lefty, I think we rock his shit in, and we know like the.
I hope
batters
he's
know
still on the
him.
team by
Yeah.
then.
right.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, as far as drama, if you're talking about like reporters asking him about the White Sox, I'm in for that.
Oh hell yeah!
No, yeah, that. I mean, everything that goes along with it. I just want to see like if the Sox rock him. I want to see the
quotes?
the quotes. If he does good, I want to see I want to see everything.
I would hope that he would throw, and I mean this very loosely because obviously I would want us to win. But if we were to lose, I would hope that he went like
Scorched
complete
earth?
game shutout,
Oh, okay.
and then in the post game he'd be like, "It's all, I don't know, some bullshit like they need to relearn how to win or some shit." And,
Oh my
just
God.
Like you don't know what you have, like all the cliche stuff
Yeah.
you can say, and I would love that. That would be hilarious.
That would be pretty funny.
But yeah, Chris Bryant, he took the bag. He wanted the bag. He got the bag. He's only played 17 games this year. Has been decentish, 270 average, 342 OBP. Power has kind of not been there at all, which is kind
he
of
hasn't hit home run.
yeah, which is crazy
He hasn't
considering
hit a home run.
He's on my team, on my home run team.
for the year he's slugging 333. Which is kind of crazy considering he plays in Colorado, but he has an 81 weighted runs created plus and negative .3 WAR. He might have lower WAR than fucking Larry. No bullshit.
The Angels.
The
They
Angels.
lost 10 in a row.
Wow.
Did you see the Phillies game?
Yes, I did.
Oh my god!
I was watching it live.
Oh yeah,
That also Phillies.
yeah.
They,
Never a doubt.
never a doubt.
Dude,
They
we're seasoned.
they fired their manager,
Crazy concept, bro.
and then they haven't lost a game since.
4-game win streak.
Awesome. That's that's how it goes.
Wow. They might need to make a move for a closer though. Corey Knebel's scaring the lights out of me.
Well, they were one of the teams that were linked to Kimbrel in the offseason, just because we needed a second baseman and they had Gene Segura, and we had Kirk Kimbrel, who we were trying to get rid of.
Who hasn't been good, right?
He has not been good.
Yeah.
Thank God. That so far has been a lose trade.
Yeah, nobody has won that.
Lose.
There's not a single winner in
Lose.
that.
Wait. Lose.
Well,
Lose.
We
trade.
still have Hewer,
Oh, true. But he's
But
hurt.
he has
right?
Tommy
But
John. He hasn't-
he may be turned into something.
But at the moment,
It's
it
a
is
lose,
at the
lose,
moment,
lose.
yeah. of course.
lose trade.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because there's all the players involved in that trade, or in that trade tree, right?
I was going more teams wise.
Oh,
but
you're going teams.
if we're gonna rank,
They've all been bad.
if we're gonna rank the winners of all these they're all bad moves. But if we're gonna rank them, I think Pollock is one, right?
in terms of worst moves,
Who's doing best out of all these players named here?
Yeah,
yeah,
he's had some.
statistically, I don't know.
He's had home runs.
Because it's not magical,
It's
right?
not magical.
He has home runs.
Pollock's best game, in which he had like the most clutch hit, was probably the game against the Guardians in which we blew the 6-run lead because he had like a clutch home run and a double.
Woof.
But what I'm
But
saying
hey,
is,
but hey,
what
that-
I'm
that-
saying
that's a
is
home
like
run.
Magical is not doing great at all, and Kimbrel's doing bad, and Hewer's hurt.
Yeah,
Who else is in there?
I'll take it.
Pollock is. You guys won that trade.
I'll take it.
Damn, that's a
So,
good spin
look,
zone,
if
and I
someone
hope
had,
fucking Rick Hahn loves the shit out of you right now. But
If
I'll
there's a
take it.
winner and a loser,
The Sox, right?
right?
Yeah, as of now.
At the
yeah,
moment.
At the moment.
At the moment,
Sheesh. Yeah, I don't know. Nick Madrigal has a negative .1 F4 to Pollock's negative .7.
There you go. 0.3.
And Craig Kimbrel has a .4 WAR. Granted, he does have a 4 ERA.
Hmm.
But it looks like he's getting a little unlucky. His FIP is 2.2.
Oh, okay.
Mm,
I feel also I haven't totally watched a lot,
me either.
but I have seen that his usage has been like not typical.
Sporadic.
Yeah.
He's not like their go-to guy by
Yeah, when you have fucking Gratterall
Right.
who throws like. He doesn't even wind up. He just like throws it still and throws
That's
104.
that's like
stands there,
insane, dude. How his arm hasn't fallen off, and I don't wish that on him by any means. Just if you look at Bruce Gratterall, fucking 80 grade name, by the way. He like you said, he's playing toss.
It's crazy.
It's like it just goes like this, and it's 99 on the fucking black.
Right. Mike says A.J. Pollock had the Yankee game, the home run off of Chapman.
But that was to
Take
make
the
it 3-2. No,
No, it
was it to the lead?
yeah, it was take the
W. There you go.
There you
Waskow White for Ukraine. We won the trade then.
Did
Fuck
you
it.
guys see the position player pitching rule?
go. Yeah, that's bad.
No.
So
Well, the rule. Wait, what?
Yeah, so the Dodgers they were losing. Let me I hope I get this story right. They were losing 9-4. Okay,
Okay.
I don't know if the numbers are right, but the deficit is correct. They were losing by 5 runs.
Okay.
Okay,
It's not a lot. I mean,
Dave Roberts brings in McKinstry to pitch, who's a position player. Buck Showalter says, "Whoa, whoa, whoa." He goes to talk to the umpire. Yo, listen to this. They're talking on the side. The umpire gets on the mic. Position players are only allowed to pitch in the game in a 6-run deficit.
that's a rule.
That's a rule.
what?
Yeah, apparently in 2020 was agreed to by the MLBPA and the MLB.
Interesting.
So I guess you could do it unless, like, if the other manager says, "Yo, you can't do it."
They had to call it out
You have to call it
Yeah,
Why
out
I
wouldn't
like
you
it.
allow that if you're facing him?
because
to exhaust their bullpen.
exhaust their bullpen.
But you could come back.
Huh?
Yeah, no.
But look, at this point,
the
it must
losing
have.
team is throwing out a position player. Like you're down
That-
6.
Oh, the losing. What? Dumbasses.
Yeah.
That's lame.
So Buck
Got it.
is saying like, no, use your bullpen, guy.
Yeah.
Don't I don't want you to rest your arms. So probably what happened because this was the game that somebody got rocked early and they had to go to their bullpen early. So they probably used a ton of pitchers.
It was Walker Buehler who
Yeah.
got pulled in the 3rd.
There you go.
It's the shortest start of his career.
There you go. So Dave Roberts was probably like, all right, I don't want to use these guys anymore. Just bring in a position player. So, but Buck is like, screw that. Use your guys.
Yeah.
I like that.
I
yeah,
like
me
it.
too. Gamesmanship.
I like it if it was called every time. I
Maybe
didn't know that was a
it'll
rule.
start. Maybe it'll start being called every time, or maybe not. Because if it's
Respect the game bullshit.
yeah,
It's fucking.
I thought you were gonna say the two teams that used two position. They both had a position player pitching at the end of the game, which was like, dude, at that point, just fucking cancel the
forfeit.
game. Yeah.
Just
What are we watching
end
here?
the game.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And then the last thing I had here, the Marlins wanted to have their own home run celebration. Maybe we can rank these. So they busted one out. Some dude hit a walk-off. I don't know if it was a home run, but he had a walk-off hit. And they go on the field, and they put on this massive football helmet on the guy.
Okay.
So now we have a football helmet celebration for the Miami Marlins.
Football?
Yeah, like a big-ass, like,
Seems random.
regulation-sized football helmet. So now we can rank them. Let's see what we got. We got the football helmet. We have the cowboy hat for the Angels. Have we talked about this?
We talked
think
about
so.
in the Sox group chat when
Okay.
Vince asked what teams have cool.
We have
Okay, can you start over? I'm sorry.
football helmet for the Marlins.
Football helmet, Marlins. Cowboy hat, Angels.
Yeah. We have the sports coat for the Toronto Blue Jays.
The cart by the Red Sox.
The cart from the Red Sox. The bell for the Brewers.
Somebody does photos, no?
I don't know.
Phillies. No, Padres.
They do photos?
They do like
Go
Polaroids.
Show selfie thing? Or
do
they
Polaroid.
actually take actual
Yeah,
pictures?
I don't know if it's for home runs. I might be mistaken. I think they
Interesting.
just like somebody in there taking fucking Polaroids.
I did see that too. Yeah, they do have. It is Polaroids.
They're fire,
It
by
is
the way. They come out
Polaroids.
awesome. Anyway,
That's really cool.
It is
yeah,
Polaroids.
They look vintagey.
I haven't
awesome.
seen that.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the actual Polaroids.
I don't know if
that
it's
have
a, I
come out.
don't know if it's a home run, Sully.
It is.
but
It is home runs.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Some of those
that's
photos
really
look
cool.
fire.
That's really cool. I think that would probably be my number one then, because that's really cool.
If it is, yeah, the card is up there for me. I like the card.
I like the car. I like the sport coat. I think that's pretty cool. It's also huge though, so some guys look really funny in it.
Yeah.
The Padres have the chain too.
Oh, they do
Yeah,
have the chain.
The swag chain. They
I
still have
thought-
from the Sox though. But what else is new?
Yeah, the Cubs don't have shit.
The White
The
Sox
Sox
don't have
have.
shit.
They had. They also had the. granted, the Padres chain is like actually like a blinged out as like a legit diamond chain, which is awesome.
Yeah.
The White Sox had like this little culero ass chain. It was like literally like lock link chain with the fucking Sox logo. And then they gave a even fucking more culero version of that for the giveaway. That was literally plastic. But
That was
whatever.
cool. That was come on.
That was a cool giveaway, but it definitely that's one you hang on the wall.
Yeah,
It's not one
yeah.
you like.
The Robert one looks sick though that they're gonna give away. But for my favorite celebration, I'd probably go the cart, just because like there's an actual object that like you're getting in.
Yeah,
and you're pushing through.
that's a lot of fun.
Like somebody could potentially get hurt doing that,
For
and that's
sure.
why that's my favorite.
I like that they were doing it when they sucked.
yeah,
yeah.
you gotta.
You gotta keep it.
Also, I really like the cowboy hat. I think I just like
Yeah.
celebrations in general,
For sure.
like with little props.
Yeah, just have fun.
Yeah.
I feel like Tony probably doesn't allow it, which is why it
Think
doesn't
so?
happen.
I don't think
I
so.
wouldn't be shocked if that's why we don't do it.
I also wouldn't be shocked.
If that story comes out, you're shocked that Tony doesn't
Yes.
allow them to have fun.
Yeah, I would be shocked.
Alvarez got a deal.
Oh
Extension,
yeah,
a mega
6
deal.
years,
6
dude.
year, 140,
115, no?
I'm not happy about.
and he just won
He's a
Player of
beast.
the Month.
He's a fucking
He's
beast.
amazing.
He's a beast.
Whatever, fuck the fucking Astros,
Yeah,
man.
fuck that. That's just he's a beast.
6 year, 115.
He's left-handed, dude.
That's like low key, unless he falls off the freaking
That's
face of the earth,
reasonable as fuck.
and he's not a White Sox, so it won't happen.
That's a steal.
That is a good deal.
That's a steal, I think.
Well, some of those years are arbitration years,
Mm.
so it makes it look.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and it doesn't start till after this year, which is nice. So the AAV on that is 19.1 mil. The downside would be that he's not versatile at his position, right? He's for the most part a DH. going that
I
way?
think, yeah, DH outfield, I think, right?
So that's a little bit of a bummer, but he's one of the league's best hitters. That looks dumb. Why is the logo so small?
Just, I'm showing the chat.
He looks like a bobblehead.
Oh, and they have another one on the freaking crown. Trash celebration.
the Marlins helmet.
Is that like actually never mind.
Oh right, they do have a logo on the crown. That looks funny.
That's like those little stickers you get from when you would put 50 cents
Yeah.
at the
These.
freaking laundromat. And
They
then
gotta
you take it
cover
out.
that thing. They gotta cover this thing with something else because that does not look great.
Or get it like an actual helmet.
Or get I'm
like
sure they
get
can
a
afford
hook
it.
up with an artist and like they do
Right.
like an actual official thing.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Some news came out of Tampa as you guys left there with the Pride situation.
Oh wow.
That was bad.
That's wild.
hey. you
That's
know?
wild that is it wild that they give the players an option? Just from the HR perspective that something like this could happen and it did happen?
Maybe it wasn't even an option. Maybe players like stood up for where their beliefs are and were like, we're not doing it.
It has to be more than like half the clubhouse.
No.
The,
that's a lot.
the article said they
It
give
has to because there's like 3 guys won't want to do it. Then you know, fuck them, right?
the article said that the players had like an option to wear it if they wanted, if they chose to.
Okay.
But Flaherty
and then-
went in.
And 5 players didn't. All bullpen pitchers or all pitchers chose not to. 5 of them due to their religious beliefs. I'm just surprised they got an option to do so
Me too, actually.
from a HR or from a PR standpoint.
Yeah. Damn.
Yeah.
Wild.
All guys, L team.
Yeah.
Ashamed to say they're a former team of the pod,
We're like 3 years removed from that. I think we're okay.
and it was a pandy year.
True.
You know, hold us to a pandy year.
I think that's all I got.
That's all I got. I think.
I just want to give a little special shout out, and I apologize in advance to this guy because from this moment forward, he will probably be the league's worst. But the guy I chose as my NL Cy Young pick, Sandy Alcantara,
Uh-huh.
is like balling the hell out in Miami.
Wow.
They have like 3 pitchers balling out right now in general.
But still
but,
can't win.
What? They're bad, right?
They're bad. They have Avisal Garcia.
Oh.
Obviously,
You gotta
I thought he was going to be a Cubs killer when he went to the Brewers. He wasn't.
Yeah, he's.
Little Miggy.
Yeah.
You guys know the story behind why he got traded, right?
Yeah.
No.
So
That
I
he's-
don't know.
he slept with Prince Fielder's wife.
What the fuck?
Allegedly. Put
Allegedly.
some
yes.
respect on it.
He slept with Prince Fielder's wife, which broke up that entire Tiger squad. Apparently, Miggy, like literal Miguel Cabrera, like they confronted him in the locker room and like a fight ensued. Miguel Cabrera got hurt from then, and he had to go on the IL. And then following that season, Prince Fielder requested a trade to Texas. Just 'cause
I
he
haven't
couldn't
heard
be
of
in
this.
Detroit
Wow.
anymore. And then that's why Avi, who was one of their top prospects, got traded to the interdivision White Sox.
Shit.
Alleged.
Allegedly.
I'm not saying this is that, but this is what people are
A
saying.
wild
happened.
move.
Yeah, to sleep with your teammate's wife.
Prince Fielder.
Yeah, and Prince Fielder of all the teammates. Like it's not just a guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's allegedly what happened. But shout out Sandy Alcantara. I don't know how we got to Prince Fielder. But shout out to him.
Oh, because Avi's on the team.
Oh, Avi.
Yeah.
I love their black alternate jerseys, by the way. The Marlins.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. That might be the podcast. Maybe next week we'll look back on our drafted teams to see how we're doing.
Yeah.
I lost in that and the home run league. I stopped checking. I already know I fucking lost.
Oh yeah, let's check the home run league.
No, let's not.
We're in a fantasy league where the only stat that matters is home runs. And
Damn.
out of the 15
Damn
teams,
them, dude. Damn them.
out of the 15 teams, Oscar is in
I'm in last probably.
14th place.
What is last place for the listeners?
Meredith.
No,
15th.
like out of how many?
15.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm 14.
you're 14.
W fucking league.
Oscar's got 39 home runs.
Fuck Ronald Acuna, Franmil Reyes, and
come
Adam
on.
Duvall. And fucking Lourdes fat ass Gurriel Jr. for that fucking matter.
What is your team?
You want me to go through it?
No, but just the four names you just rambled on are like, all right.
Yeah.
Ronald Acuna, former
That
MVP
is
candidate.
That is shocking. That is. But he's
He started off the IL, then
Right,
he hit
right,
like
right.
2 quick home runs, and fuck me. Franmil Reyes, who's a literal power hitter,
right.
3 home runs on the
I was
year.
gonna draft him.
W.
Thank you, Oscar, for taking him.
Adam Duvall had a good year last year.
Duval.
I'm gonna drop the bozo. And then Lourdes Gurriel Jr. That stacked offense
Yeah.
would fucking be cool. Has not been cool.
And then Joe Adele, admittedly, he's on your bench, but he's in AAA now.
Yeah, he's in AAA, 3 home runs.
In AAA?
No, in the league.
Okay.
In the league. No, mames.
Ramiro has
Chris Bryant's boning me. That's all.
Jordan with 16 home runs.
Yeah, he's killing it.
Does he lead the league?
Stan has like 20 something. I mean, Judge.
Judge.
What is dropped? Dropped is like those players were dropped
Yeah.
from the other guy. Damn, people are making moves already. What the fuck?
You only get 2, I believe, right?
You only
Yeah.
get 2 moves, yeah.
And if you swap them in your lineup, that's a move.
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
What the fuck are you saying about
What?
fucking Ramiro? You have Mookie with 16 too.
Let's go.
This fucking guy 16.
I'm just surprised at Jordan's production.
And
That's all.
Harper
He's
has
really
13.
What's that? Bryce Harper's
I'ma
got
call
13.
Cab.
Let's go, baby.
Bryce Harper's
Damn, that's
good,
crazy
man.
how fucking dog shit my team is.
I do have Yasmani. They're stinking.
Give me his money.
And Anthony Rendon. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah, what's wrong with that guy?
I don't know.
Holy crap.
He signed that deal with the Angels and they came ass.
Damn.
Classic.
Yeah.
I'm scared. You know what, Cubs? Don't sign nobody, dude. Just fucking-
That's the White Sox way. Welcome to the dark side, brother.
Yeah. Don't sign nobody.
all right, guys.
That's
all
it.
I got.
Yeah.
All right. Talk to you guys next week.
Yeah.
Hit it.
Beautiful girls, they only wanna do you dirt. They'll have you suicidal, suicidal when they say it's over. Now we're fussing and now we're fighting. Please tell me why I'm feeling slighted and I don't know how to make it better. Make it better. You're dating other guys, you're telling me lies. Oh, I can't believe what I'm seeing with my eyes. I'm losing my mind, and I don't think it's clever. Think it's clever. You're way too beautiful, girl. That's why it'll never work. You have me suicidal, suicidal, suicidal.
Why the fuck are you guys fucking leaving?
Who's still in the chat?
No one's in this mouth.
One of them was me.
It was me. Now it's me.
Hi, Ramiro.
Is anyone still here?
I don't think so. Shang Chong.
Da 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 da. Da dee doo doo dee da da doo dee da da dee doo. Boo doo boo boo doo. Do 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 do.
I literally think it's me.
Freaking Yasmani, dude, man. Fuck. Two? Freddie Freeman. What the fuck?
Yeah.
4 home runs? Ew.
I know you're not complaining about team home runs, brother.
Dude, 4 from Freddie Freeman?
I know you're not fucking complaining about fucking.
He's played the
team
whole
home
year.
runs.
No injuries, nothing. 4 home runs. Is Freddie Freeman overrated?
Possibly.
The Crown Zone.